often come together is education. You'll hear our president say, you'll hear we have to have education. And of course, we're all for educational opportunity. I'm sure we're in an educational institution. But the reality is we're shrinking rather than growing. And there are several reasons.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to really ask you a question after you go to work. Open Tam's Supermax prison, which keeps people in permanent solitary confinement for over 10 years. How does this union dare to speak of progressiveness when that is your platform?
That's right.
Sorry I didn't hear the answer, but I look forward to hearing it from my friends.
Okay, well, I'm sure they'll fill you.
My question pertains to the intersection between the union movement and the movement to fight the prison industrial complex. And right now in Illinois, AFSCME has a lawsuit to block the closing of TAMS and other prisons. And TAMS is a supermax prison where men are held in 24/7 solitary confinement. And I think both causes are dear to many on the left. The idea of fighting the prison industrial complex and the racism inherent in it, and also the union movement. So I'm wondering how we can reconcile those two things, and how we can, if it's possible to have a pro-union movement that's also fighting the expansion of prisons in this country.
But with regard to the issue of TAMS, and I hope there are people here who have broader issues about labor that they want to talk about. But there is a reason why we have a facility, why we have a system. And whether it's at a facility like TAMS, or whether it's maximum security units, or solitary confinement in an existing prison, which is not that different at all from what happens at TAMS. Those systems are developed in order to have safety. But I do want to stress that there's more than one aspect to this, that it is a matter, yes, there are people who work at TAMS. Actually, many of those people will get jobs elsewhere in the prison system if TAMS closes. But there is no program and no plan in place to protect the health and safety of people throughout the prison system. Now, I don't want to debate TAMS, and I'm not going to. That's my answer. You wanted my answer, and you have my answer. Please feel free to.
Doesn't the union members' safety, isn't that benefited by ending systems of institutionalized torture that create a lot of the violent conditions that go on in prisons? That's the first part of the question. And the second part of the question is, shouldn't unions be saying to people who want to close prisons and TAMS, well, we've got working people who need jobs, and we need to push the state to create other job opportunities in those locations for people who are going to be laid off because of the closing of the prisons.
Well, again, I don't want to get into all those. I hope that people have some other concerns about the future of working people in this country that they want to raise besides the
Answer the question. Answer the question.
I will say this. The issue is not strictly one of jobs, although that's certainly part of it. It's an issue of safety throughout the system.